Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. Anywho, I want to tell you this little, when I was changing my license on the car, or scratch that. Hey guys, scratch that part. Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. Like I was saying, so I was outside, right, and I was changing the license plates, right, and in my head I'm like, I'm gonna change it before it's time for me to go or something like that, right? So I was changing it, and it was like 7 o'clock, like 7, maybe like 7:20 or so in the morning, right? So I'm outside, right, and I hear a loud noise, and I know I don't tell you guys that my mom's a preacher, she don't do quotes, but she loved to preach, something like that, And in my head, I'm like, who's that preaching? So I'm still changing the license plate, right? And I'm thinking that's my mom, right? And I look behind me or beside, but on the opposite side, right? And I see a lady. She was kind of like a dark-skinned lady. And in my head, I'm like, that's not my mom. She's kind of light-skinned. So I was like, nah, that's not my mom. And then I was like, it's two people, I see two people. And one lady's preaching, and she was coming up the street, on my block, right? And I'm like, what is she preaching about, And then I start listening, right? So it's a lady preaching, and it's a lady in front of her. I'm thinking that she's preaching to the lady in front of her, right? But when she came closer, I found out the lady who was preaching, and the other one who was in front of her had a camera in her hand, And I was like, what's she doing? Is she recording the other lady preach? Like, is she doing it for YouTube, or she was just keeping it for a personal kind of thing, I'm not too sure. So I'm like, what's she preaching about, As she going up the street, I'm screwing into like the license plate, and I look, and I'm hearing she's preaching, like legitly preaching, like she was like on one of them little staging, like for the church or something like that. She was preaching like that, and I was like, what is she preaching? And then I started listening even more, and then I'm hearing that she's like, oh, Jesus will like open my path, whoever gets in my way, I will destroy him, and all these other stuff, right? And I'm in my head, I'm like, she's preaching. Ain't nothing wrong with that. My mom preached all the time, since she was like young kids, and as we're growing up, right? So I'm like, okay, she's just preaching on God, Great lady. So I'm still screwing into like the little screws onto the license plate, right? Until she said this quote, and I got scared, I was like, what is she talking about, She was like, oh, I gotta sacrifice anybody who I see in my path. And I'm like, I turned to her, I'm like, oh God, I hope she don't see me like screwing in the plate, As she's saying this, she's going like towards the house, And I'm like, oh my God, please don't make this lady look at me and try to like sacrifice me to whatever she's trying to say, or whatever she's trying to do in the video, I'm like, oh my God, like, what's she talking about? Sacrifice, anybody in her path. Like, is no one in her path? That's what I'm thinking, because it's like an open road, right? So I'm like, no one's in her path. Why she want to say that, I thought she was just preaching about Jesus, But she's talking about sacrifice and all these other stuff. Whoever is in her path, she will like destroy or anything like that. And I'm like, what's she talking about? Like, why are you saying all these things, in the neighborhood, people get scared, I got scared. Oh my God, guys, I got so scared that I started screwing in the little screws on the license plate really fast. And as she was leaving, I ran back inside the house, right? And somehow my sister was in the kitchen, right, getting her something to eat, right? And I was like, I heard someone preaching, She's like, it could have been our mom, And I was like, no. This lady was different, She was like, how you mean different? I was like, this lady it was two people, It was that little lady who was just preaching. I thought she was just crazy, just talking to herself, like preaching, right? Until I found out it was another lady recording her doing this. I don't know if it was like for a video on YouTube, but if she did post it, then maybe I'm not trying to criticize her or anything like that, but I don't know. She could have did this in her own house, you know, instead of like walking up the block, you know. And as people like coming out of the house and like looking at what's going on, you know. So I told my sister, right? She's like, "Are you sure it's not your mom? It was not our mom." I was like, "No." This lady had short hair and she was like a darker complexion of our mom, you know. And it was another lady, so it couldn't have been our mom, you know. So I was like, "Nah, that couldn't have been our mom." She was like, what she was preaching about. I was like, she was talking about whoever's in her path, she's gonna destroy her, how she's gonna do all these other stuff, how she's gonna sacrifice some people and stuff like that. And then she was talking about Jesus and stuff like that. I'm like, how is that even possible? If you're talking about Jesus, why would you say in the same sentence that you're gonna sacrifice someone or like destroy someone in your path? You know, that's kind of weird to me. Maybe that's just me. I'm not too sure. If you have like a story like this, where everything happened like this and you think someone's a crazy person doing this, I don't know. Like and subscribe, turn your notifications on, and I see you later. If anything happened like this, guys, like comment down below. Or if you see a video on YouTube, like link it down in my description, you know. Maybe I want to see it, you know. Anywho, I try to like as the lady was recording and she's coming this way, right? I tried my best to like make sure the camera didn't pick up our license plate, you know. So yeah. Like and subscribe to your notifications. Bye.